All right. Hello, hello, and welcome back to Retrieving Sanity. And this is Retrieving Sanity update number 4. I don't know exactly how many official updates we've had, but I think 4 is just a kind of cool number, so we're just going to roll with it and kind of start here. So, next one should be 5 if I remember this one. And this is more of an update. Hang on, let me just do something for myself real quick. I want to give myself a little bit of background music so I have something to just like space out to, I guess, if that makes sense. Which I can't hear any of my stuff. I just made everything so quiet so that everyone could actually hear whenever we talked, and that was like me and Simba and other guests and stuff. So I guess I'm just not going to actually have my music playing at the moment. Maybe I will. However, there is some big updates in the future. In the future, I mean right now. Updates for the future happening right now. So, forgive me if my brain is a little bit jumbled. I've been trying to access the libraries of Retrieving Sanity to pull up every little conversation I've had, and because I'm redoing the website. So, before I dive too far into that, let me see if I can't just do like this. Hang on. Ew, no, that is not it. No, no. We're just, man, I want my music now for some reason. Why is that? That's so strange. Anyways, we'll see if this works. If it does, it doesn't. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Y'all can't hear it, I can. So, now, where should I start? You'd think I would have had an idea of where to start whenever I started this, but this is kind of just an impromptu thing. You know, sometimes whenever you get the inspiration, you just got to do it. And I wanted to give y'all an update because I didn't upload a video to YouTube today. Uh-oh. Why, you might ask? Well, because one, I'm trying to focus on the actual content itself. I'm not trying to push out I'm trying to push out good quality stuff, and to do so, I need to really focus on it. And with the new game show aspect and everything, I'm really trying to get it down to where it's like uh, the format is really good, and so that I have to do like in the episode, not like post production. But with the post production, what I'm going to do is sit there and like take the little snippets of the game show and then put it at the front, and then tease everyone with it, and hopefully that'll actually make people want to watch it all the way through, or at least skip to the end where the juicy stuff is. So, with that being said, I got approval from the radio station to do the game show segments for the radio and the TV. So, let's see, starting July 1st, Retrieving Sanity is going to be on TV, up in a certain area. I'm still not saying anything yet because like it is on their website, so you can go ahead and check. I'm pretty sure it's official. However, I haven't gotten the news and saying that it's okay for me to like straight up promote it, and I haven't asked because I'm just excited. Like, oh, this is actually happening. Like, what? Hold on, what? And it just keeps getting better and better and better. But the thing is, whenever I'm sitting here trying to be like, all right, now how do I make the show better? How do I bring more value to the guests? How do I bring everything to the audience a little bit more? And it really did kind of come down to building the website, because the website is like the foundation for a lot of businesses and stuff nowadays. If you don't have a website, then you're kind of screwed, right? And the whole thing with Retrieving Sanity is to turn it into a nonprofit for mental health resources and services for basically anyone that needs it. But we're probably going to start off with veterans because they really need it. Well, I'm not saying anyone needs it more than anyone else, but at the same time, like I wanted to go serve whenever I was younger, and I'm glad I didn't. My body would have definitely gave out way before anything, and who knows, with me and my luck, it would have not ended well. So, the thing is, after speaking to a whole bunch of veterans and getting to hear some of their stories, and also just hearing not even just on the podcast, just like in real life, right? A lot of them feel betrayed whenever they're out of service and stuff, and I don't blame them whatsoever. So it's kind of like, I would like to kind of help in that front, because that's one of those things that's really hard to overcome, is that betrayal, and it's something that no one should really have to feel whenever they literally put their lives on the line for literally everyone else back home being not necessarily lazy, but yeah, we could be doing better for them as well. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, I don't know. We're going to try to keep the episode release schedule to Thursdays and hopefully in the morning, uh, like early morning. Hopefully, I have it done before like 2 or 3 in the morning, so I'm not staying up super duper late. That's another thing. Like, I would love to do 2 episodes a week. It would be fun, and I have been keeping up with it, but with the game show aspect coming around, it's like, you probably should really like get that on lock before moving on to like the next venture. And so why did I want to do the website though? Because whenever it goes on TV, it's going to have more exposure, and I want more people to have access to my guests. And I really want, like, if the website looks good and if it's structured right, that can be the beginning of a page of resources for people that need resources, you know? And so my guest page before has been kind of like, like, woohoo, like, here's faces and their links. And it's like, and who are these people? So I was like, what we're going to do is we're going to have like a mini profile for each person and a link to their episode and a link to their website. And so far, it's pretty cool. I think it looks professional ish as best as I can at the moment, like trying to do everything on my own. I digress. But the thing is that I've been able to actually sit there and go, like, oh, hey, I remember this conversation. Holy cow. Like, and some of them feel like they were a year ago, and it was like 6 months, and I'm like, holy crap. And that's the thing, is that that time dilation thing is just so out of place at the moment because so much has happened in such a little time that it doesn't feel uh not tangible, but like just there. Hmm. Sorry, that's really what was happening. I was trying to stifle a burp and not really trying to think of a word. I was trying to think of a word. I can't think of a word, but I was really just trying to not have that come up. Anyways, so let's see. During that building process, I was actually able to sit there and go, okay, I can't remember who all I had in order. Like, that would be a little bit more difficult, but I'm kind of there. However, I was sitting there going, like, referencing the old site, just going, and mind you, it's just their picture, their name, and their links on my old site and on the one that's still up. So there's nothing there. And so I was like, okay, I remember this face, I remember this name, I remember this conversation. So I'm trying to type up a little bio for them, like really small, like 2, 3 sentences, try to tie it up into a really nice package, and I was able to do that for the most part. There were a few instances where I went, like, what was the main message in that episode? Because me and my guests, we dive down rabbit holes. We don't just sit there and go like, all right, bullet train all the way this way. We go, oh, hey, that was pretty cool. You want to do a detour? Yeah, that sounds good. All right, woo. So we always wind up back almost in a weird loop because we find out how things actually all interact and they lead back to the same problem. And if we don't look at that problem in a different way, we might just wind up back up where we were, but maybe with a new situation and stuff. So it's like, you found a pattern. Now, how do you break it? And with that also being said, there's going to be more pages on that website, different resources, all of it. And oh man, it's been interesting. It's been fun, but it really has made me kind of think to all the conversations I've had and how grateful I am because each one has been its own like little therapy session for me. So I can only imagine how much it's doing out there because I know a lot of the like episodes aren't for me, but I still get something out of them. And that's the thing, is that like if I know that that message wasn't for me, but it was still powerful, it's like, oh, holy cow, someone out there is going to hear it and be like, oh, whole epiphany. And that's what this is all about. It's great. I love it. And let's see, there was another episode update. No, not episode update. if you check out the microphone, the Maono PD400X, it has a new little thing that I like to call accessories, and they are feathers, real feathers. It's pretty cool. Me and Jordy were on a nature hike this morning, and we were like, all right, do we go left or right? And we went right, and lo and behold, there were 10 feathers on the ground. So we picked them up, brought them home, I washed them off, and was like, how do I pay tribute to the divine that I need to while still making it look cool for the podcast, for the show, I should say. And so I was like, I know. I can just deck out the microphone. Got to keep the like advertising there for my Ono because, that news is actually coming up soon too. And let's see, we got Podcast Movement 2025 coming up. We've got about 48 days, I think, 49, something like that. So I've got to work on getting everything out over there. Hopefully the scholarship goes through, and if it doesn't, we're going to go anyways. Going to find out how to do it, but we're going to go. And that, so that means I need to get business cards. Means I need to get a couple more shirts. Oh, dude, networking. It's so much fun, but that is one of the harder parts about this whole show thing, and that it was something that I came across as another potential issue, if that makes sense. And by that I mean, whenever I first got to the point where I was getting other guests in, like actual experts and psychologists and just everything like that, I was like, oh yeah, cool. And then like it's kind of slowed down, trying to get people filled in. And I was like, oh man, maybe there's not a whole lot of people that want to be on my show. Maybe I'm a bad host. Maybe I don't have a good message. Maybe this or that. Maybe my editing sucks. Maybe I don't know. And maybe it does. I don't know because a lot of people don't give me some feedback. But then the feedback I do get says it's good. So I'm like, cross my fingers, hope for the best. Hashtags for the win. But um, sorry, loud ass neighbors. Anyways, my brain, uh, they made me forget what I was saying. Burp. Oh, that was probably a trash guy. Cool. Thank you, trash guy. Be sure to thank your garbage men, whether you know them or not. Just leave a little note maybe for them. They deserve it. What was I saying? Oh no. Podcast movement. Feathers. What else was I missing? Oh, I'm losing hair. That's fun. That was another update I kind of didn't want to talk about. I was in the shower and I was like washing my hair, and it was after a day of work, and I drive with the windows down all the time. So like I felt a clump of hair and just like kind of stuck. And so, just like went to brush it out, like, cause I was washing my hair and I just felt it like, huh. And I was like, huh, like, oh no. Like, so like a chunk of hair just like poof out, just gone. And I was like, and oh, I also shower with the lights off. So I didn't know that a big old chunk of hair left my scalp until afterwards. So yay. And I was asking Jordy about it, and she's trying to reassure me that I may not go bald. But it is in my genetics, which sucks, but it is what it is. Going to have to deal with it if it happens. But another thing is, stopping your psychiatric meds can make you go bald. And I was like, what? Why would that be a thing? Why would that be a thing? I don't want to be on those medications. And so it's one of those like, I'm not going to get back on that medication because I'm not fucking bipolar. I guarantee you I was misdiagnosed 110%. Yeah, I just have ADHD. That's it. That is it. And maybe not even ADHD, maybe just ADHD. I know that one for sure because it's in my fucking genes. So, what was I trying to say before I got to the hair? But with the hair aspect, that does bring up a whole bunch of like, I have a lot of not necessarily pride in my hair. Maybe it's pride because I am a Leo, and I do have pride in my hair, so it is pride, I guess. And it's like, hey, we're about to take that away from you. And I'm like, no, don't like anything but that. Like, take my left foot, take my left leg. I hardly use them anyways. They've already been mangled and tortured enough. Just take that. I don't need that. I can hobble around with one foot. That's fine. One leg all is all I need. Tis only a scratch, tis only a flesh wound. But that's the thing. I'm like, and like how much of my hair is part of my identity, and a lot. It's a lot. It it's a lot. I'm telling you right now, it's a lot. If you know me, I have always been like crazy, not crazy, but just like passionate about my hair. Like I don't want it to be like super long. I don't want it to be bald. I don't want it to be super duper crazy all the time. It is like an art form. It is a form of expression and everything. Yes. I just like this, like right here is like freaking perfect for me, and I love it. And it's about to go poof, literally. It sucks. So part of me is like, oh man. And if if the show really does actually pick up traction and everything, it's like y'all get to experience the journey of me going bald, and y'all know what that's going to be. It's just going to be like, hey, if we hit 1,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel, we'll go live stream with Jordy shaving me bald or something like that. That's what's going to happen, but we'll make an event out of it because it's for the show, literally, and not for clout, but it's for the expression of like this is a part of me and I'm losing it. Oh, what do I do? And I may be laughing, but I am actually legitimately worried and scared. Um, because like yeah, there's Rogaine and those other products out there, and it's like yeah, I could do that, but I'd have to do it literally every day for the rest of my life. I don't know if I can do that. I might forget quite a bit, quite a lot. So long as my red beard stays around and I can have my braided beard, then I'll be happy. I think, I hope, I don't know. Can I transplant this up here? Maybe. I doubt it. It'd be weird, really weird hair. But, I mean, I don't know. I'm done thinking about it. Done thinking about it. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I gotta stop thinking about it, though. Because it does me no good to worry about it. In fact, if I worry and stress about it, it's probably just going to make it fall out faster. So it's like, So everyone better just go on over to YouTube or TikTok and hit subscribe. And once we hit a certain number, I'll just shave it and we'll just go from there. And I'll wear patty caps all the time, flat caps, whatever you want to call them. I don't care. Maybe a fedora. If you want a fedora, then let me know. I don't have one anymore. I did have some. One at least. One at least. So if we've covered the why there's no update, well, why is there no new full hour upload? It's because we're focusing on the quality of the content, not the quantity of the content. So I can tell you though that the next episode is with Sebastian Uskateki, and he is a really cool guy. He is, I believe, 23 and has multiple six-figure businesses. Makes me feel really not great, but at the same time, totally different life. And his family worked really, really hard. He worked really, really hard to get where he's at, and I'm super proud for him and super excited I even got to speak to him. And he has a profound wisdom. Like he has a wealth of profound wisdom within his brain, and it was a genuine honor speaking to him, because he showed me a little bit of hope for, well, everyone in generations underneath us. Why? Because he actually got philosophy really well, and like that was the thing too. He was asking me like about these philosophers and stuff. Is all like I know some of the names. I don't really keep a full tally of like who I've read, who I haven't, what their thing is or anything. I just maybe have an idea of what they talked about, and I'm like, okay, whatever. And most of my philosophy came from talking with my friends in middle school and high school, and just figuring out and just going with what felt right based off of what I was raised with, and then just asking questions and then going off what felt right off of that and stuff. So, I don't know, people like him were have asked me, him and Massimo have asked me about who was that? Marcus Aurelian's journal or diary, I think. And they were like, "Oh, you're familiar with that?" And I was like, "No." Like, sorry, can you explain that for me? Oh, you make a garden to attract butterflies. You don't chase them. Like, oh yeah, like I knew about that, but not in that phrase or anything. But okay. Like, no, I don't know who you're talking about. I'm sorry. Um, and it's like I have the slightest idea. I have the slightest idea, and that's it. Anyways, so let's see. We have the website being built, content getting even awesomer. Oh, by the way, I think I'm the only mental health podcast show that has a game show aspect. I don't know. I kind of hope so because I feel like that's what sets me apart. Sorry, I guess I haven't drank enough water today, which is weird because I've drank like 12 bottles. And that's another thing. Like I'm being up and active a whole bunch, and I've lost weight, which is like, how did you lose weight? And it's like, I don't know. It just happened. I, believe me, I want to gain weight. I am a stick, and it is not fun. Try laying down on like a floor, and you can't because your hips and your ass have no meat. It hurts. So let's see. I'm trying to think. Oh, TikTok. There was a TikTok person that reached out and they're like, "Hey, I'm part of the live agency. I'm like, you want on board?" And I'm like, maybe. Like that'd be kind of cool, you know. But I don't get on TikTok often enough. However, that is the other update. I am trying to actually sit there and get some kind of schedule to where I'm like on maybe not every night, but like every other night or like a certain day and night and time. But that's the thing, I've got to look at my schedule forward. I've got to say, okay, these are the days that I open. And then I can be like, and we'll do it then. And then if things happen, I can update beforehand, hopefully. And oh yeah, how did I forget this update? How indeed, there is someone very special that is going to be on the podcast. Their name is S.J. Tucker, and it is the S.J. Tucker. You know, like oh, I haven't heard back since I sent out some of the dates and stuff, but I don't blame her because she's just super busy, I'm sure, but I reached out and was like, "Hey, mental health podcast. I really like your music, and like, I would love to interview you, please." And she said yes, and I was like, "Huh, huh?" And then same day, so I went over to Say What or Shoot from the Hip podcast with David Watley and did a little guest appearance over there. That was really fun. And then whenever I got back, it turns out that SJ Tucker was actually doing a live stream. And I was like, oh, I'll go ahead and pop on that and see what's up. So I went on in there, and then she actually subscribed to the YouTube channel. I was like, ah, super cool. And then I was like, so I follow her on like Spotify and stuff, and I was like, oh yeah, why don't I like have them on YouTube yet? Because I don't use YouTube to like watch a whole bunch of stuff, and I do and I don't. It's weird. I have a weird relationship with like content creators, like platforms themselves and stuff like that. Like some content creators, I'm like, all right, you are on Spotify and you exist only on Spotify, and that's what happened with her. I was like, oh, why didn't I think that she had a freaking YouTube? Like, now I feel like a bad fan. Like, has anyone else ever felt like that, feeling like a bad fan? Like, oh, I didn't realize that they had that channel too. Oh no. Now I feel like a douche. But I don't know if there's anything I can do about that. Say sorry and hope for the best. Better to ask for permission than forgiveness, right? And I don't know why I decided to say that because it didn't really fit. It's just something to say. So we're sitting at 25 minutes. We're going to go ahead and end this here. So don't forget to subscribe over onto the YouTube channel, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever else you can find your podcast. And be sure to check out retrievingsanity.com here in a couple of days for the fully updated website. Once it's up, I'll let y'all know. We'll do a nice big celebration post with it. Hopefully, we'll actually be able to do a little bit of a live stream and show it off. Like, I could have done that, but I'm not going to. Um, nah. But we'll go ahead and end this here. You all have a great rest of your night. Sorry to bother y'all. And actually, you know what? If you watch this, it means that you were interested, so I'm not sorry to bother you. And if you didn't want to watch it, then you're not here, so bye. But seriously, try to stay safe out there, and if you need help, call help. I don't know if 988 is still around, but hopefully it is. And with that, just love yourself. Love those around you if you can, but love yourself first. And as always, much love. Shalom.